Hey, you guys, I wanted to go over our app and a couple of things that we kind of teach and how we structured it. So, I have 20 years plus years of coaching and pitching and just studying the pitching biomechanics in the body in general. And Hey, you guys, my name is Kerri Foster. I'm with Foster Fastpitch, and I wanted to go through our app and a little bit of the science behind what we teach. I have about 20 plus years teaching pitching lessons in the cage and watching kids, how they move, how the body moves, and trying to decipher how am I going to teach and what gets the most out of my kids and what is the standard baseline, of each kid that is kind of what we call a non-negotiable in a pitching motion. What are the things we want to see that ideally produces the ideal pitcher? And we all know that each kid is different. They have limitations, they have mobility issues. Everybody is different and they have different motor skills, different ways they learn. Everybody's different. But from 20 plus years of teaching, this system that I've developed has been the baseline where I start as a pitching coach and then we maneuver from there. And so I want to explain a little bit more about that. So here's the app. Here's our training session. Here's the free version. If you just go to the App Store, this is what you're going to get. You have to purchase it on our website at fosterfastpitch.com. Purchase it, then go to the App Store and download it, and then you'll have this section. And this is our start here is our guide one, and it's just like a Netflix. It's very easy to use, user friendly, and this is how we've kind of structured it so that it's very simple for you guys to use, easy to find. But here's start one. Guide one is the start here, and it's just all the information about us and the app. Guide two is our bread and butter, and it is our foundational system. So, as I was referring to before, it is some things that we call our non negotiables that we really want our kids to identify with. We want them to have this, what we call baseline structure. If you think about if you formed your habits off of a curveball, how difficult it would be to throw a screwball. And if you had a rise ball, how difficult it would be to structure your drop ball off that rise ball. So our foundation is our baseline foundation. And there is a lot of room to have your own character in this pitching foundation. And I want to address something right now because on the foundation part one, we talked about arm unravel and internal rotation. And my view on this is that a lot of people have been throwing internal rotation, which just means soft elbow bend, leading with the pinky, pronating, snapping like with a good snap, and then finishing long and loose for years. But it was never taught and identified because we didn't have the video and the technology that we do now. And so over the years, they've been studying these fantastic, great, amazing pitchers and breaking them down and then comparing it with the biomechanics of other sports such as baseball, hitting, golf, different athletic activities, and what produces power. And they started showing us that what we're teaching here in our foundation is the result of getting the most amount of power and energy you can out of your body by using physics. And so I explain that in our foundation. And back 20 years ago, people were already throwing internal rotation. We didn't have a label on it called internal rotation versus hello elbow. We were just taught palm out, snap, pull up, hips through, basic, this is how you pitch. But they didn't have any science behind what made that work. And then we started identifying when we had the technology and the cameras that they were not pitching like they were warming up. So I found a lot of my kids were warming up one way, but they were pitching like I wanted them to pitch, and that the difference in that caused a lot of confusion in how they were pitching and how they could progress. So once I identified that, showed them, hey, this is how you're pitching. Now let's do your drills like you're pitching. This is how your body naturally moves. They started progressing. And so this terminology, internal rotation versus Hello Elbow has just recently come about in the last several years. And then there's this big debate on social media between I'm this kind of coach or I'm this kind of coach, or this is my way versus this way. And I'm not like that. I want to structure a baseline of uh, in an ideal picture and how an ideal body moves. These are the characteristics that we want. Now, if we can't get them, totally fine. That's when we maneuver from there and we start having a little bit more character and uniqueness about your body that makes you completely different than everybody else. And then we identify that and let you build on that. But these are the things that we think are non-negotiables and that we're going to try to make sure that your body kind of does these couple of things. And it's not a lot. The first thing is our internal rotation. It's arm whip. It's creating a soft bend in the elbow, a long arm with a soft bend, creating a way for your hand to come through by your side, creating a good snap, and then a long finish. We're trying to relax the shoulder and the elbow and have you feel the weight of the ball fall from shoulder, elbow to hand, just as if a bat is being thrown, like if you throw the bat, how it's the energy is close and then being thrown out through the barrel. A golf swing, when you throw overhand, anything like that, how the weight is distributed and felt throughout the body. That's all really what we're trying to do here. So we do arm unravel drills, then we do a program, how to take the drills into the program. Some people don't need the programming. They see the drills, they identify what they need to work on, and then they work on it. But some people need more help with learning the technical part of it. They also want help identifying drills that will help that part of it. And then they also need help with programming of what should we do and how many should we do it. We put all of that into the structure. Then we go into the foundation part two, which is our sequencing. We teach ground force. Energy is not created or destroyed, it is transferred. So, how do we create more energy from a small frame or a large frame? How do we get the most amount of energy from the ground and transfer it through our body and be able to release it through the ball? We can't muster that up on our own. If we do, we're going to get tight and we're going to get pushy and forcey. And I know those aren't words, but that's what happens. And then we lose all accuracy and speed and we plateau. So, our part two really works with establishing our lower half, our stability, and becoming stable helps us generate more power with our arm circle. So, that is part two. We have two different teachings. We have the drill segment and we have the 4-week program. And then part three is our momentum. This is ground force, and launch is how we're supposed to use our legs and generate power through the ground and out through our body, and how to maneuver the best way possible to get the proper rise and fall of the pitch so that our body is sequenced together as far as up and down goes. We want our body rising together and falling together. We don't want to be landing with our arm out in front. There's a timing that's best for your body. This is going to help you identify that. And then also, we have the drills and the programming. From that ideal foundation, you can decipher like these are the things that I cannot do or I don't know how to do. Let's work on them. And then if it's a challenge for you, upload a video right here into the chat. We have a chat feature where you can come in and upload video. The video helps myself and other coaches come in and help you pick out the drills that you want and be able to identify the right programming and the right drills that will help your daughter succeed, or maybe clear up any confusion you have with teaching your daughter. Okay. Once they identify their ideal form and what that looks like, now they can build all their pitches on that form. This is a buildable program. So once you get that foundation, and then you can start building your changeup off that, your curveball off that, your drop, your curve, your screw, your rise. So you can start building your programs off of that. And you learn the same way. You just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It's a system that will take you from beginner to advanced, or you can plug yourself in as an advanced pitcher and maneuver through it. So anybody can start anywhere and plug themselves in. We always suggest starting guide 2. Once you get to the coach's corner, these are some Zoom calls and some different things that we have in there, extra information that we have. And then we also have the bullpens for those that can't quite figure out what to do on a daily basis. You have these programs that you will open up, and you have the video and you have the workout. It's a 3-day workout, and you can replicate any other workout for that week to make a 5-day workout. We also have mobility and arm care programs as well that you will be able to get. We have a Facebook community that you can be a part of, but you also have the community here in the chat that you can introduce yourself and talk to other people. Weekly bullpens, anything that's new is here. And then you have a tracker that where you can go in and see where you're at throughout the app, what you're working on, and what your progress is, and then come back here and celebrate your wins with everybody else, just talking about the success that you've had through working through the app. So that's a little bit about our program and a little bit about our app. How we differ from a lot of other coaches is we take the time in our foundation to explain to you, ideally, the science behind pitching, how to produce energy, how to get that energy and force out through your body, how to master speed without force and having to be tall or big or anything else, like how to get the most speed out of your body. All of this, it's not just a bunch of drills thrown in and a lot of different teachings. It's a very structured, organized plan where you start from the beginning, you learn and educate yourself, you master the drills, you have the program, you have the support. On top of that, we have a coach's certification where our coaches do this same philosophy, and they're all in and they're all over the United States. So now you can take yourself from the app and do a video session with me through our or a video analysis through me. You can come in town and do a 3-hour workshop intensive with me, or you can find a local coach near you where you can do lessons or an intensive with a coach that's near you that's not all the way here in Alabama. And so we have designated and designed this whole program for you with you in mind so that you can start from the beginning and take your child all the way through the top. You don't need 5, 6, 7, 8 different pitching coaches. You don't need 10 different philosophies. Once you hear our philosophy and you buy in, there's no other reason to go pick and cookie cutter all these other things from all these other avenues, because you'll be bought in and you'll understand why you're teaching what you're teaching, why your kids doing what they're doing, and you're going to be able to see the results, and you feel like you're empowered to have the control to lead, guide, and direct your athlete, your pitcher, through the whole progress. There's never any confusion. And so that's what we wanted to establish, because we know there's a lot out there. We know there's a lot of confusion out there. There's a lot of different drills out there, and we just wanted to help you identify and be on the right path with the right direction and wisdom that you need to make sure your daughter gets to the next step, and you're never just out there confused and wondering if she's doing the right thing. And so we hope this helps you make a decision between programs, between should I go all in, should I not? But we have the whole system for you, and you can plug yourself in whenever. So I hope that helps. Looking forward for you to reach out to me if you have any questions and getting started with our program today.